Last post fight of the night. Here we are. 12:45 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Richard Commey versus Jose Pedraza. Now these guys are two former world champions. I believe Pedraza is a two different weight class champion, if I'm not mistaken. Absolutely, yeah, he is. And Richard Commey he himself is a former lightweight champion. So these are two former world champions who moved up in weight. Richard Commey's first time at 140 pounds. And this was a pretty good fight, you know what I mean? Going into this fight, I really couldn't pick who would win this fight, because Pedraza ain't no motherfucking slouch. Till this day, until this day, Pedraza is Tank Davis' biggest test of his career. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Till this day, that's his biggest test of his career, and the first few rounds, man, at least the first 4 or 5 rounds was all Richard Commey. Richard Commey was applying pressure. Now these both guys were a lot of volume punching, a lot of punches and bunches. Pedraza being the southpaw, so it's the southpaw. Pedraza was digging to the body for sure, hard body, and he made it like basically what he was going to do basically throughout the whole night. He emphasized and stayed consistent with the body work. You know what I mean? Then in round six, there was a accidental headbutt, but the commentary was calling it a punch from Pedraza, but it cut the man Richard Comey's left eye. You know what I mean? Definitely was a headbutt. I don't know what they was talking about. Richard Comey would have some nice punches that would stop the man Pedraza in his tracks, especially the straight right hand. But Pedraza, man, he took them punches well, and he started firing back with some shots, and he even hurt the man Richard Comey, man. In round nine, man, he was battering the shit out of Richard Comey. I was like, oh no, here we go again. Looks like round 12 of Richard Comey versus Robert Easter back in like 2016 or 17, whenever that fight was. But Richard Coleman, man, he looked like he was about to give up the fight because round six, seven, and eight, and now nine, I was giving it all to the man Pedraza. You know what I mean? After that headbutt happened, the tides turned, and Pedraza started to pick up momentum. Now round 10 was a round where both guys had to give it all they got. You know what I mean? You check it, they both had to give it all they got. And it was a close round, but I still kind of edged that last round barely. Could have gone either way. There was a few swing rounds in this fight, but I edged that round to the man Pedraza. Even though Richard Commey came on strong late in the last minute, but I believe the first 2 minutes, I thought Pedraza did the better work. You know what I mean? Yep, check it. So this fight, the judges had it like 97, 93, 94, 96, 97, 93 for Pedraza, 94, 96 for Coleman. And I personally agree with the last scorecard, which was accurate in my card. That's what I had. At 95-95, I had this fight a draw. And I thought Richard Coleman gave up a lot of later rounds. And that cost him, you know what I mean? That cost him. This could have been an easy W on his resume today to move on and possibly get a world title shot. But Pedraza used his experience in the later rounds, you know what I mean? He had some good amateur, so has some good amateur pedigree. This guy's been a proven vet. Here he is, and he held his own, and I thought he won the later rounds. You know what I mean? To make this fight an even Steven fight. B Marsh, main boxing biker, what's happening, G? Main boxing biker, what up, man? It's funny. It's funny you on this chat, dogs. I was just listening. Uh, you probably know that channel. This guy from Brooklyn, Slim name Saint Laz. Well, he was just interviewing a guy from Flatbush, a Guyanese brethren. You know what I mean? Man got deported, so he was just basically telling his story and stuff. Just I was because I wasn't watching the fight with the volume up, so I was just listening to that jam about 10 minutes ago. But the last 2 rounds of the fight, I had to put that shit off, man, to see what this man Pedraza was doing to Richard Coleman. You know what I mean? But big up main boxing biker always salute. You sound. He said You sound mad low and far from the phone, champ. What's the name of the channel? Yeah, main boxing biker. I know you Guyanese. That's why I mentioned it. It's Saint Laz. St. Laz, I believe this guy from Crown Heights, BK somewhere, you know what I mean? But the brethren he was entering was a Guyanese dude from Flatbush. You check it. Yeah, so, thanks for letting me know. For some reason, man, this jam be sounding low lately. I might have to start using my other jack to be honest, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, but Richard Commey, man, I thought the last 9 and 10, man, he should have taken that. Even his trainer Rozier was on his head. True indeed, man. Boxing biker. Yeah, man. Check it out. Just type in St. Laz. It's probably his last video. It's his last video, probably like 2 hours ago. You check it. Yeah, man. Richard Coleman, man. He really could have had a good scalp on his resume today. Um, Main Boxing Biker says, "Yo, I felt Pedraza put up a better fight against Loma. He did. He sure enough did, man. He fought the fight of his life. You know what I mean? And he had to make that man Lomachenko dig deep, and he sure enough did. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But Richard Commey, Pedraza, you never know. We might see a rematch to prolong the inevitable, but they both did it to themselves. You know what I mean? Both of them should have stepped on the gas at the right time and secured this fight. You check it. But big up main boxing biker always. Salute for coming through. Big ups to everybody in the chat. Hit the thumbs up on your way in, on your way out. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. And let me know how you guys had it in the chat. How you guys score this fight. Peace. Big up main boxing biker. Salute always. Gone.